Hey everyone, coming at you with another video, just a brief discussion video. Black Dissident, I see you, brother, great stuff. I put out a video just very shortly ago talking about the disparity between experience-driven knowledge transfer, sharing the craft and the trade when it comes to training firearms and all that stuff, and people who are just getting into firearm ownership and just starting to train and adapt to what they need to do based on their situation, location, and everything. It's a very broad topic. There's a lot to kind of break down with that kind of stuff. It comes down to it, when it comes to the experience-driven side of it, experience-based side of it with a lot of people, obviously my experience is a lot different from a former Navy SEALs experience, and it's still even different from a cop's experience and things like that. I've got Army background, Army infantry background, and I've spent the last 15 years as a protector, a protection specialist. That's executive protection, that's what people would call high-risk bodyguard, that's protective security details, private military contracting, things like that. That's where a lot of my experience comes from, is the private sector and protecting people, places, and things. And that's some experience from other people that put content out as well. And then you have a lot of people who have far more extensive military background than I do, and a lot of other people do, with multiple deployments under their belts and things like that. Experience is going to vary between between all these people. There are things to take away from them that you can apply to yourself in your personal development, your training routines, drills, and things like that. But I'm 100% on board with sharing a lot of the entry-level basics as well. And that's why I and Modern Frontiersmen and a couple of other people, apart from established organizations and training companies out there, have started programs and are starting programs to teach people basic skills. Everything from basic fundamentals with rifle marksmanship and firearm training and pistol training and all that. I'm not a CCW instructor, but I instruct other things, including some fundamentals with rifle and things like that. And then you have CCW instructors and stuff. And then from there, myself, Modern Frontiersmen, and some other people, Thunder Ranch and all that, and then organizations like the One Shepherd Leadership Institute and things like that, that teach basic warrior skills, small unit tactics, and leadership skills. I do some of the leadership stuff, but it's a lot of basic warrior skills and small unit tactics stuff, as it applies to my experience. And again, mine varies from other people's. So being able to put it together in a broader package for people based on multiple different experiences, to include medical and things like that too, is extremely important. And that's why a lot of people are trying to come together, and that's why this community is awesome. People are trying to come together to get a package, get a program like this together to offer to people and help them develop their personal skills from the entry level. They've just bought their first gun, or their first pistol, their first AR, their first AK, whatever it is, and go from there and work up and build them up and give them the tools to be proficient for themselves and develop their skills to succeed. Again, things are going to differ for a lot of people in a lot of different regions of the country and different situations and things like that. Defensive shooting, reactive stuff, like all of that, in close quarters combat and urban warfare do play into that, because a lot of people live in cities and towns. Obviously the populations are more dense in places like that, and that's where a lot of that kind of stuff is going to apply. If you're living out in the sticks, yeah, probably somebody with a little bit more jungle or mountain warfare background is probably going to be a good person to trade with, because that applies to your area and to what you need out of skills. But when it comes to the day-to-day stuff, myself and a lot of other people are here, and we are willing to provide information, training, and share those skills with people so they can they can be better prepared for themselves and build up from the fundamentals up. Extremely important. It is. It all across the board and everything involved with that. And it's not just firearm stuff. It's, again, it's medical, it's logistics, your supply avenues and resources, even bushcraft stuff. You know, being able to, you know, people that have never camped before and want to go camping. And guess what? There's a lot of people out there, including myself and a lot of other people, that can help you with that, with that, and to get started there. And you know, you're not going to break the bank with it, because we're gonna be like, hey, you know, this is really inexpensive, but it really works for it, you know, and you should look at that. Or if you have a bunch of stuff, we can help assess it, and you can assess it for yourself. You need to get out and test your equipment, you know, but start getting out there and things like that, you know. So everybody's got to start somewhere. That's really the bottom line with it. So again, with what Black Dissident said and everything, 100%, man. Everybody's got to start somewhere. People just getting into the game, or maybe a year or two into the game, you know, obviously there's a lot to learn, but even then, you know, they're well on their way. And the community, as the community is, should, and generally is, really supportive and is putting a lot of information out there to help people, and to help them develop their skills in a wide variety of things. So that's really important, and I agree with that. So again, you know, if people have questions, leave a comment. If people want to see a certain thing, a certain type of technique or training or item or whatever it is, you know, if I can do it, I'll do it. Leave a comment. And that's the same with everybody else in this community, because I know they want to do the same things, and I know they want to share the craft based on their experiences and what they've learned and everything else. And that's an extremely important thing. You should be learning all the time, no matter what. I try and learn as much as I can. I'm currently trying to teach myself like 5 languages, apart from trying to learn other stuff, whether it's day-to-day stuff or something more specialized. Learning never ends. It doesn't matter how old you are. Learning never ends. There's always something to learn and always something to train and practice on. Whether it is something fundamental or it is something extremely advanced, but yet within your wheelhouse or interest or whatever it is. So there's a lot of stuff across the board, but it's all worthwhile. So keep learning, keep training, keep developing your skills. Again, leave comments with questions, what you want to see, whatever it is. And I'll answer them just as anybody else in the community will. So, okay? Yeah, just keep learning and keep getting after it, okay? Metal up. Out.